Welcome to the deep dive. Think about waking up sometimes, that feeling of already being behind, already carrying yesterday's stuff, worrying about tomorrow, just like mental sludge. A lot of us were hauling this invisible,
Yeah.
but very real, heavy bag, full of sorrow, distraction, clutter. It's exhausting. Today's deep dive, it's sourced from the OneEarth Alliance's visualization practice. They call it UPM. And it offers this, well, radical but maybe simple solution, swapping that heavy burden for wings. So our mission today is really unpack this visualization practice, the new bag. We need to look at the 7 essentials. They say transform everything, detail the daily rituals you need, and analyze the lifestyle shifts that come with it.
Yeah, and we really have to start with that metaphor, the bags, because it really sets the stage for the whole transformation. The old bag, it's not just heavy. The source describes it as tattered, overflowing with all the stuff we accumulate, unprocessed things, grudges, just clutter. It actually slows you down, makes life feel like a real burden. But the new bag, completely different. It's light, spacious, even glowing from within. The source actually says you don't carry it, it carries you.
It carries you. Wow.
Yeah. And that's the critical shift, right? Turning weights into wings, making existence feel more like a dance than a struggle. But it means being really honest about what you're holding onto now and choosing very carefully what goes into that new bag.
And what we choose, according to the source, are these 7 essentials, described as light as air, yet contain everything. Okay, so what are they? Awareness, love, breath, gratitude, simplicity, peace, and interconnection.
It's a powerful list, isn't it? And if you look at them, they're all internal states or actions, not things you own. It's like the definition of non-material wealth.
Okay, let's dig into the how, because UPM doesn't just hand us a list and say good luck. It gives a really structured daily routine for actively practicing traveling light. And the total time, just 40 minutes a day. But here's my first question, thinking about that contrast. The heavy bag life versus this. If someone listening feels totally overwhelmed right now, rushing, how does the source suggest they find, realistically, 20 minutes for a morning ritual?
That's a really fair question. And the source argues it's not added time, it's recovered time.
Recovered, how so?
Well, the idea is the heavy bag life wastes hours every day through distraction, poor focus, stress buildup. So this 20 minutes, it's framed as an investment that dramatically cuts down the mental drag for the rest of the day. The first 5 minutes are about emptying the old bag. You just sit, meditate, and notice what heavy thoughts or feelings popped up the second you woke up.
Okay.
Then you visualize putting each one gently into a river, watching it flow away. And there's an affirmation, I release what no longer serves. That's like giving yourself permission to let go.
Right. And then the next 10 minutes, packing the new bag. With intentions for those 7 essentials. This is where it gets active.
Exactly. You're basically setting your inner compass for the day. So for awareness, the intention might be, I'll stay present today. For love, it involves metta practice.
Metta. Loving kindness meditation, right?
Precisely. Sending out goodwill. First to yourself, then to others. Even the difficult ones, unconditionally. For breath, it's simple. 10 conscious, deep breaths, just to anchor yourself. Gratitude is quick. List 3 things you're thankful for. And simplicity. This one's interesting. You choose one thing to let go today.
One thing. Could be anything.
Yeah, could be clutter, sure, but also maybe an obligation you don't need, a commitment, or even just a negative thought pattern you keep repeating.
And you mentioned the link between simplicity and peace.
Yeah.
How does that work? Is it just less stuff equals less worry?
It seems to go deeper in this framework. Simplicity here isn't just about having a tidy house. It's about reducing friction, reducing choice fatigue. If you simplify commitments, your wardrobe, even your diet, you free up mental energy. Less internal noise creates space. And that space allows for peace. The specific vow for peace in the morning is really powerful. I will harm no being today.
I will harm no being today. That's quite a commitment.
It's an act of non-aggression, deliberate. In the last 5 minutes of the morning, you just stand up, feel that lightness. The new bag is carried in the hearse, they say, and just smile, then step into your day.
But, life happens. Stress hits you mid-morning. What then? Does the bag get heavy again?
It definitely can, and that's why there's a midday check-in. Super short, just 5 minutes, maybe at lunch.
Okay.
You just pause. Check in. Feeling stressed, distracted, resentful. The source says those are signs the heavy stuff crept back in, so you do a quick intervention.
Back to the river visualization.
Exactly. Put the negativity back in the river, reaffirm the 7 essentials, and hopefully continue lighter into the afternoon.
Then we get to the evening ritual. 15 minutes, unpacking and resetting the first 5 minutes. Empty completely. Now, this part feels tricky. It says, release all of it, even the good things from the day. Why let go of joy or success?
Yeah, that often surprises people. It's rooted in the idea of non-grasping or non-attachment.
Non-attachment.
Right. The UPM practice figures if you cling too tightly to the day's successes, the joys, you create attachment, which feeds the ego, brings fear of loss. You suffer when the good thing changes or ends, which it inevitably will.
So the goal is emptiness.
A specific kind of emptiness, like spacious awareness,
Yep.
a neutral starting point. So you carry nothing, not even good baggage, into sleep. Then the next 5 minutes are for structured gratitude. Journaling, 3 things that went well, 3 beings you helped, 3 wonders you noticed. And there's a special focus on nature gratitude, thanking the sun, water, earth, air.
And the final 5 minutes, preparing for sleep.
Yes. Using a body scan to release any lingering physical tension and affirming, I carry nothing into sleep. And importantly, tomorrow I wake fresh, pack only essentials again. It locks in that daily renewal.
You're basically shedding the day's identity before sleep.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting. That 7th essential, interconnection. It seems like this drives a whole lifestyle change, the UPM way of living. It's about harmony with, well, everything. Nature, animals, plants, the earth.
Absolutely. It moves beyond just your inner state. It's about how you walk in the world. The relationship with nature becomes central, needing deep respect. Daily practices include things like greeting the sun, consciously thanking plants and animals at meals, acknowledging their sacrifice, walking gently, being aware of insects underfoot, even thinking about the conscious exchange of breath with trees. Kavu euro for Owuro.
Wow. And weekly.
Weekly, it suggests 1 hour completely immersed in nature, a park, a forest, wherever. But crucially, no earbuds, no phone, just being present. And also, 1 act of restoration each week. Picking up litter, planting something, giving back.
And the approach to animals.
Yeah.
It's defined by ahimsa, non-harming.
Yes, non-harming in thought, word, and deed. So, using cruelty-free products. Relocating spiders instead of squashing them, supporting sanctuaries.
But the source pushes this further, doesn't it, to a level of kinship, seeing animals as actual relatives.
It does. And that requires a huge mental shift for most of us. The idea is to genuinely see animals as kin. So a dog barking isn't just noise, it's, my cousin is communicating. A bird singing at dawn is, my brother is celebrating.
That changes how you'd interact completely.
It has to, right? It dismantles that human-centric hierarchy. If the bird is your relative, harming it becomes unthinkable. Their suffering is, in a way, your suffering. That's core to the UPM view on coexistence. And that same reverence extends to plants and the earth. Talking to plants, appreciating flowers without needing to possess them by picking them, even hugging trees, which the source admits feels ridiculous, but calls profound.
And the earth. Not just a resource, not a metaphor, but Mother Earth, literally.
Literally, grounded in the elements, her soil, water, air. They make up our bodies. She feeds us, shelters us, reclaims us. So honoring her means things like a simple morning bow, touching the ground, acknowledging her presence.
Feeling her beneath your feet, even through concrete.
Exactly. It helps dissolve that illusion of separation, that feeling that we're somehow apart from nature. We are nature.
And this deep, almost spiritual connection, that's what drives the practical side, the environmental responsibility.
Precisely. Choosing regeneration over degradation. It's why the lifestyle pushes towards living carbon negative if possible, reducing consumption, choosing sustainable options, aiming for zero waste. These aren't just eco-friendly actions, they're expressions of interconnection, of love for your Mother Earth.
So let's talk about the transformation. All these small daily choices. What does it actually feel like? The source gives this really stark before and after picture. The heavy bag life. It sounds depressingly familiar for many, I suspect. Jarring alarm clock, instantly checking the phone.
Right, comparison, worry, straight away.
Then rushing unconsciously, maybe grabbing processed food, the stressful commute alone in traffic.
Isolation,
Frustration.
work life driven by productivity obsession, competition, maybe gossip or complaining.
Evenings just zoning out, scrolling endlessly, leading to poor sleep. The result, you're tired, stressed, disconnected. Life just kind of happens to you on autopilot.
But the light bag life, which is enabled by practicing those 7 essentials, it's described as fundamentally different. It starts gently, natural waking maybe, then the morning ritual, that sacred packing.
Conscious showering, simple breakfast eaten with gratitude.
A lower impact commute walking, biking perhaps, work feels more purposeful, collaborative, and those crucial mindful breaks. Just 3 breaths between tasks. That simple act disrupts the old frantic pattern.
3 breaths.
Yeah.
It sounds so small, but I can see how that could make a huge difference in breaking that rush cycle.
It really can. Evenings involve cooking real food, maybe time in nature, being truly present with loved ones. Then the evening release meditation, deep sleep, the result. Energized, peaceful, contributing to healing both personal and planetary, living fully in each moment.
Okay, so what's the payoff? The source talks about the promised measured gains. What can someone realistically expect if they adopt this?
The gains happen in layers, apparently. Pretty quickly, within weeks, they suggest you'd notice real physical and mental improvements. Better sleep, definitely less stress, more moments of joy, maybe even health markers improving, like lower blood pressure.
Okay, that's immediate. What about medium term? Months down the line.
Things deepen. Relationships become more meaningful. Creativity often increases. And here's a specific metric they mention. Environmental consumption potentially dropping by 50 to 70%.
50 to 70%, that's huge.
It is. It shows that direct link between inner peace and your outer footprint. Less craving inside means less consuming outside.
And long term, years of living this way.
This is where it moves towards, well, spiritual mastery. The source talks about spiritual awakening, unshakable peace. They use the word equanimity.
Equanimity. Can you unpack that a bit for listeners who might not be familiar?
It's basically the highest form of inner stability. It means you can stay centered, calm, peaceful,
Yeah.
no matter what's happening outside. Good news, bad news, success, failure, you're not thrown off balance. You're steady.
Like an inner anchor.
Exactly. And from that steady place, effortless compassion just flows naturally towards everyone, everything.
So the ultimate benefit, according to UPM, is freedom. Freedom, yeah.
Yeah.
Freedom from fear, from constant wanting or craving, and freedom from that illusion that we're separate individuals cut off from the world.
Which leads to wisdom, seeing things clearly, and boundless love.
That's the path described. Wisdom and boundless love. The UPM way itself is simple, though maybe not always easy. Just those 3 pillars. Meditate daily, empty and pack. Live consciously with the 7 essentials. And love all beings, human, animal, plant, earth.
It's a really powerful invitation to quite a radical shift. We'll leave you, our listener, with this final thought, straight from the source material. The lightest bag holds infinity. The emptiest heart contains the universe. So we invite you to consider. If you truly carried only awareness, love, breath, gratitude, simplicity, peace, and interconnection, what possibilities might open up for you? Possibilities currently hidden by the weight of that heavy old baggage.